When someone like Warren Buffett takes a bold move like that, that's something that you have to listen to instead of some kid you just saw on TikTok. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Millennial Money. We've been talking sports cards, we've been talking selling on Poshmark, we're talking all sorts of ways to make you some money. Today we're talking stocks. This is a really big deal. If you guys don't know, the billionaire master investor Warren Buffett has just dumped all of his airline stocks. Yes, that's right. Warren Buffett has completely gotten rid of $4 billion worth of airline stocks. Now that includes United, American Airlines, Southwest, and Delta Airlines. Pretty much the four monsters in the American airline market. It's all gone. As beginner investors, I feel like I really had to make this video because I'm seeing bad advice going out there. If you're someone on TikTok and you've probably liked an investment video, most likely you're getting more types of investment TikTok videos. I just see so many people giving bad advice. They're saying that you should buy airline stocks because they're so cheap. But just because something is cheap doesn't mean it's a good investment. And this is a clear, perfect example right now. When one of the world's best investors ever, when he completely gets rid of $4 billion worth of a certain type of stock, you should start to pay attention and realize that if you do have that stock, it's probably a good time to sell it right now. And of course, all of this does make sense. People have been stuck at home for weeks, and we're going on months now. For an uncertain future, people will not be flying as much. The coronavirus has affected so many different fields and so many different industries, but the airline for sure is one of the worst that's been affected by coronavirus and the outbreak, the pandemic, the lockdowns. Even once people start going back to work, we definitely will not be flying as much. Who knows how rigorous the testing will be, if people still need to remain quarantined, if they're going to be flying somewhere. We don't know for sure. The one thing we do know for sure is people will not be flying for a long, long time from now. So I definitely am expecting for Delta, Southwest, United, I'm expecting those stocks to drop even more just because of Warren Buffett himself. I mean, he did dump $4 billion, but other investors are going to follow and they're going to start selling as well. We should see a huge tank in the airline stocks. But now, someone like you, someone like a beginner investor, what can you do with this information? I did see Warren Buffett is starting to double down on banks. And of course, if you were around or if you knew what was going on in 2008, in that financial crisis, the banks got bailed out. Banks will always get bailed out, it seems. So Warren Buffett is doubling down on the banking stocks. So if you do have money in airline stocks and you want to sell it, financial stocks do look like the way to go right now. I'm on tradingview.com. I'm looking at the JP Morgan stock. We saw one of its lowest prices at the end of 2019. JP Morgan actually did go below that price, but then it bounced right back above that price. So it looks like this could be a good buy for JP Morgan. And then we see the same thing with Bank of America. At the end of 2019, it took a dip. It recovered from there, but then with the coronavirus, it backed down again. It went under those lows of 2019, and now it's back above it. So Bank of America, JP Morgan could be a good buy right now. As a beginner investor, or if you're someone who just doesn't have a lot of cash right now, apps like Robinhood are a really good way to go because they give you the ability to buy a fraction of a stock. What I mean by that, if we take a look at the price of JP Morgan right now, their stock is currently trading at about $92 for one stock. What the Robinhood app does is it lets you buy a portion of that stock. So let's say you only want to put $10 in JP Morgan, it'll let you buy $10 worth of that stock. Apps like Robinhood and the ability to buy a fraction of a stock is an amazing way for a beginner investor to get their hands wet and start making small amounts of money without having to spend a crazy amount of money. I remember when I was about 24, 25 years old, I went to my local bank and I wanted to talk to someone about how to invest in the stock market. I told him I had like $2,000 or $3,000. He's like, that's not gonna get you anything. You have to have way more money than that. If you wanna start investing in stocks, you need to have like $10,000. And he just pretty much like shooed the kid out the door, you know? It's no longer like that. Those days are done. I think it's great for a beginner investor to not have to pour a bunch of money into the stock market when they can just do little small amounts. So Robinhood, great way to go. I'll give you a link down below if you want to join the Robinhood app. As always, like I always tell you guys, especially with the sports card, do your own research, do your own analysis. If you don't know, Google it. Look up as many YouTube videos as you need to find to get to know something really, really well before you pour your money into it. But for sure, when someone like Warren Buffett takes a bold move like that of selling $4 billion worth of a stock, that's something that you have to listen to instead of some kid you just saw on TikTok who's telling you to buy the Southwest stock because they're super cheap right now. Listen to the experienced people, listen to those investors that have really, really made a successful career out of investing. That's all I do. I'm just here to lay out the information that I find myself. I'll never claim to be an expert in stocks or sports cards or whatever. I just share with you the information I find and let you guys make your own decision with it. A lot of my subscribers are mainly sports card investors, but hey guys, if you want to figure out ways to have more funds to buy more sports cards, you can use all these little tools at your disposal. You can flip sports cards, you can sell your clothes on eBay, you can buy a stock. There's all these different ways of making money, and that's what I'm trying to share with all of you. That's why this channel is called Millennial Money. It's for all of you millennials. You know, thankfully we grew up in this era where technology just exploded. This wasn't something our parents had. This wasn't something our grandparents had. Right now is the easiest time ever to be able to make money. And why not try now when we're all in lockdown? We're all at home. Again, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a like. If you are not subscribed to Millennial Money, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you later.